It's your girl, Lady TKG, and I am starting off the Not So Cool Kid mini book club series because I like to get straight to the point, but I also like to promote reading. All right, so the first book I'm doing is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Let's go, let's get it. Let's jump into the intro in the first chapter. Ruiz starts the book out explaining how we're all in a dream. How nothing and everything that we've been living is but a dream, specifically the dream of the planet. This dream is really just a combination of all the beliefs, the laws, the rules that we have, and those are shaped by government, schools, religion. It's what keeps this dream alive is pretty much all of the willing participants, us. Now, to understand, this dream is really just generation teaching the next generation and the generation after. None of us actually choose a lot of aspects in this dream. For example, a lot of us are Baptists because our grandparents were Baptists, our parents are Baptists, their parents were Baptists. A lot of us like teams because, one, where we're at geographically, but because, hey, my grandfather, his father liked the Eagles, so I like the Eagles too. Like small scale examples. I mean, we have our own thoughts, patterns, and beliefs of how men should treat women, how women should interact with men. It differs and changes depending on where you are in the planet, but overall, those beliefs, those things that let's just be honest, we didn't choose, no longer agrees with our ways of thinking and kind of interferes with how we feel about ourselves. For instance, if you grew up in a society where they harping so much more on book smarts, that you had to be the top of your class, A+, and you were not necessarily academically gifted. You were gifted in other ways, but academics was not necessarily what you're gifted at. You're going to feel very low about yourself because you're not reaching the standards of those around you. Flip side, there's a lot of things that we have been accepting and doing that we don't even understand the origins about. Here's an example. Young girl, she was preparing a Friendsgiving dinner, so she decided to prepare a ham. And she cut off two sides of the ham, placed it in the pan, and put it in the oven. Her friends thought this was odd, so they asked her why did she do that. And she said, well, that's how my mom did it. When she went around her mom, she decided to ask her, hey mom, why did you cut off the sides of the ham and place the ham in the oven to cook it? She described, hey, this is what my mom always done. So when they both got around her grandmother, she decided to ask, hey grandma, why is it that you cut the sides of the ham in order to cook it for Thanksgiving? The grandma laughed and said, well, at that time we had a small oven and I had a small pan. I had to cut the sides of the ham in order for the pan and the ham to fit. That's kind of what a lot of us are doing. We're still cutting the sides of the ham off and we don't even know why. So, in conclusion, Ruiz just wants us to understand that we are living in a dream, that a lot of these social rules, norms, and beliefs we have is really based on where we're at geographically, what we've learned as far as religion, schools, governments. It's a combination of different rules and regulations that we have been pretty much just introduced to and not really given the opportunity to choose whether, yes, we want to do that or not. And he's saying examine those things because our agreements could be the reason for a lot of grief that we have, trying to live up to a norm that is only geographical, or trying to live up to a norm that's only tied to your religion, or trying to live up to a norm that's only tied to your government status. It's time to take a look at these things. That's why I can't wait for part 2. So if you continue with me to part 2, we're going to cover the second chapter and the actual first agreement. Stay tuned.